All right, Public Safety Building Committee meeting, Wednesday, October 15th. Call to order. We have no minutes to really approve at this point.
Okay.
Discussion of recent open house and community feedback. Summary of events, public comments received, committee reflections. Heather was here, I was here, you were here. I feel like a lot of the general public maybe was not necessarily here. There was people mulling about, but there were a lot of people that came in and looked at the plans. There were a lot of people talking to Dror. He did a great job talking to everybody. People walked away very impressed. I hope not to the extent where they felt like maybe we were doing more than what we should have done, but he definitely did a great job talking with everyone. People had a lot of questions. He sat with people. Mike was here answering some questions. I answered a few. Mike Foley answered a few. I don't know if you had a chance to get in here to do anything, but that was my take on it. And a couple of people just said it looks great. They weren't expecting what they saw, so I think that was good feedback.
It is a pretty nice renderings.
I just think they didn't think we could take this building and
do this,
what,
do it,
yes,
right.
yeah, yep.
Well, enough money, you can do anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Give me money, give me time.
So I guess on committee reflections part here, we could probably go over some of, maybe, Mike, some of the things you were just talking about within this that you're concerned about, maybe. I don't know, Seth, if you want to add anything in about the,
This is the first I've seen the plans.
okay,
Yeah, I haven't.
Because they
I
have
haven't
not been
seen
emailed to us, so we've
Okay.
not been able to really
Okay.
dive into them. I mean,
these, I believe, were the ones that were shown at our last meeting on the screen that we had been
Okay.
looking at.
Okay.
I don't think anything had been done
what's the
prior.
date on it? Mike?
And I think
was
the only.
just looking, and
Should
I'm
we
not
should we
seeing.
revision on,
Right here, right? 10/2/2025.
Oh, is that,
Yeah.
or is that a print
that
date?
could be the.
That's the print date.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything filled in down here that I see, where I would normally
Yeah,
look for
yeah,
it. Let me just make sure that we're not, he didn't hide it somewhere else,
Okay,
or place it
I was
somewhere
gonna
else.
say it's not under his name and stuff on the right hand side anyway.
It doesn't appear to be,
Yeah.
just their advertising.
This is
That's on there.
definitely.
Oh, wait, hold on, here it is up here.
oh, okay,
Okay, so the most recent one was 10/1,
Okay.
so that was the day before,
okay.
right?
Right.
Yep, the open house.
So he printed
I was
a,
gonna say, this is definitely
revision.
updated since the last one that he had sent to us
Okay.
for
went
review.
April, June, September, and October,
Okay.
or where it is.
And Nate's saying the only real deliverable is the fire chief's opinion on the fire side. Does that make sense to you?
Any deliverable?
No, because I just saw these today.
Okay,
So-
so that's what Nate's, the only real
And
deliverable.
that's what Dror asked for, was my opinion, notes or my reaction.
We
Which
should-
I assume, I thought the rest, everybody saw them. I emailed Nate, like, oh, have I been missing? Because the last version I saw was like from June or July. And he's like, oh, I sent it out. So yeah, if this is new to everybody, then yeah, I just saw it today for the first time.
Okay,
Yeah, I haven't seen these. till
This
I
was,
walked in.
they did it just before, I don't know what the changes were, but it says progress set. So presumably, that's the print date, and this provides you the date that changes were made. And I think Dror caught some things while we were at the open house. So my comment is overall seemed positive. I didn't get any negative feedback or vibes from people regarding this. The overall whole Taste of Hubbardston open house, the whole thing seemed to go over, I thought, pretty well. I don't know, about attendance. there was enough people for me here. I did ask Roar some questions about the septic quote-unquote system, but not so much the septic as in the leach field, so much as there's a lift station out here.
Yeah.
And there's a wet well and a lift station,
Yeah.
and I believe an aerator.
Correct.
Over here, okay.
Yep.
And he didn't seem to know too much about that. And that's important because the point we were making earlier was, hey, you know, we're using the existing facility and gonna convert it from what it was to what we need. But right in the middle of that is right outside here.
Yeah.
And that's an expensive item, so we need to make sure they're, you know, looking at that and that they're just not, you know, there's some when I say inexpensive, there's less expensive ways to do it and other things. And typically the architects aren't the ones that figure that out. They're going to rely on some sort of civil or mechanical
Right.
engineer for that work. And we just need to make sure they're getting those people on board at the right time so they're dovetailing the other engineering disciplines with the architect. And that's usually that any interface tends to be the weak spot, and that's usually the weak spot. So I brought that up. The other thing I asked about was ground source heat pumps, solar. You know, what are you guys thinking? You know, we don't want to learn about this at the last moment. Granted, we want to get the basic concept down, understand that, but once again, they need to go ahead kind of lockstep, because if we're changing roofs and whatnot, then that affects, you know, solar panels and whatnot, and if we're not careful of the overall site layout, then ground source heat pumps, you know, will be less advantageous because we don't have the site for that. But we might have it over here. I don't know what zoning would do to us there, you know, what they're gonna,
A lot of that's more expensive too in construction, but you save in the long run. So
Yeah.
I think we'd always, you know,
it's like insurance, you know?
what do we want to spend?
Yeah.
What is going to be the price tag of it with and without certain things?
Exactly.
Is important
Yep.
to know, right? So that if, or we're not going to do this, then we need to, then it's going to be this way or that way. So it's, yeah, I agree that we need to take those things into account.
It's like sizing the place. You don't size it for today's needs, and you don't size it for 50 years in the future. You build it out a little more than what you need, and then who knows what the future is, but don't lock yourself in. Was it Rutland that they outgrew
Oh,
it
yeah.
right away?
Right.
Of course, I don't think we're going to be a Rutland,
Right.
so we don't need to go to that extreme. I hope we're not a Rutland. Not that there's anything wrong with Rutland, but they built a lot.
It is a lot.
And I mean, didn't their population grow?
Yeah, we doubled in size in 10 years.
Yeah, okay. I don't think we're gonna see that in Hubbardston. I know that there will, I saw a new house on Ragged Hill Road, a new lot being cut out there. So, you know, there is some growth. However, you know, we are kind of locked out. You know, every time a house gets built, that's one house that can't be built in the future, you know? We're
Right.
taking up space, being involved with the land trust. We added 250 acres in the last few years, and that's not going to be buildable. And it could have been really good building sites. So the summary is, make sure our architect is in lockstep in talking about some of these future issues, and we have a kind of a cash flow in mind for the
Well, your
future.
annual operating costs are going to be, that's what's going to drive that.
Yes.
Right, operating,
Yep.
yeah.
Your annual operating costs. yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that's my 2 cents worth.
Yep.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
So are we,
I-
you know, Nate's comment is that phase one, we're kind of going to be done with as soon as he makes his
Yep.
decision. Are we feeling like we're at that point with these, just the way everybody's talking. I just want to.
I think we need these emailed to us so that we can go
Your
over them
inbox.
again with a fine tooth
Yeah.
comb.
I texted Nate. Nate just emailed them to all the group,
Okay.
so we have them now. So
Okay, good. Yeah, that way we
he's
can,
very quick.
because there's definitely, just looking at the plans for 2 minutes, there's plenty of issues that are gonna have to change. You know?
And I think it's different looking at them like this than like.
It's so
that-
much easier on a
yes,
computer
yes,
screen and being able
yes.
to kind of zoom in a little bit and see
Yeah.
what things are. And maybe Dror can explain some of the
Right,
details a little bit.
okay. Because you're talking about bathrooms, excessive bathrooms that aren't necessary, and so I just feel like maybe we really need to have more discussions with Dror, so.
Mhm.
All right, committee reflection and discussion, accomplishments to date, obstacles and challenges, web pages, resource or guidance needed. The accomplishments to date revolve kind of around like where we're gonna go in the next year or two, because Nate asked us to look at all that and see where we had come from, where we're gonna be going. And a lot of this meeting really revolves around that too tonight, because we, are gonna look at maybe, redoing our charge and seeing what we need to, how we as a committee can move forward better, more efficiently with everything that's gonna be happening in the next year. So, accomplishments to date, I feel like we've met all of our deadlines, where we've needed to be,
I think in that
even
zone.
quicker than we thought we
Yes,
were
yeah,
going
and then
to,
some.
maybe quicker than we all maybe felt needed to happen, but it's done and it's great, and Nate's done an amazing job.
Yeah, I think it needs to be said that Nate and the town staff as a whole
Yes.
has just gone over and above, supporting our needs, plus, getting, I won't say playing landlord here, but in a way, yes. So, you can't say enough about, what they've done and what they've committed to do, so we do appreciate that, so.
Yeah, because this was not the goal, essentially. I mean, it
No,
was, but it
and-
wasn't, right?
no,
Like, this
it
is
was
where we thought
not.
we would be.
Yes,
We didn't think
no.
we would have a building
No.
and be kind of
Yeah.
half in it,
Yes, no,
maybe, you
right.
know?
It all changed about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that-
September
yes.
last year.
That's
Yes,
changed.
that
So I
is
think,
exactly it, yeah.
I think what we need to do as a committee is also going to change.
Correct.
And what the select board
She
wants
was,
us to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
mentioned the charge.
Yeah,
Has anybody read it recently?
So I have, you want to talk?
yeah, I don't, I feel like we probably should in order to
Yeah,
maybe.
so.
Yes.
Obviously, we really should not be calling us the Public Safety Building Committee, because we're really not. The scope has completely changed. When the charge was given to us, we were looking at building a brand-new facility on virgin soil. This came up. I've kind of drawn up a draft mission statement and new charge that we could submit to the Board of Selectmen, kind of outlining
Thanks, Seth,
what
for
we're
doing
doing.
this.
No problem.
I totally concur, and I actually brought it up a while ago, saying that the charge was sort of.
It's evolved.
Evolved.
It's evolved.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a good way. I think it's, as we originally said, I think it's really evolved in meeting a lot of town needs at the same time very quickly.
Do we have the old one?
It's
Right here.
It's right here.
So it was really, the committee shall be responsible for the following: develop a plan for the feasibility, design, construction, and financing of a new public safety building, including potential sites and square footage. Conduct public outreach to communicate project needs, requirements, designs, and costs, and solicit feedback. Ensure the needs of the community are satisfied and that the building design is both practical and visually acceptable. Collaborate with town offices, citizens, and stakeholders. Collaborate with the town's financial staff to find financing options and create a project budget. to ensure that the project is on schedule, under budget, and in accordance with all applicable rules and regulations.
There's a couple of overreaches there, but, you gotta
I didn't
start
write
somewhere.
it.
Oh, no, I know you did, I know who wrote it, because I've seen other things, and he leans forward, the town administrator leaning forward, and that's what we want.
Yep.
If we've got to reel him in, or the select board has to, then they will, but I think that was a very aggressive thing for a bunch of volunteers, especially about finding the financing.
Yeah.
We don't find that.
Yeah, that's the financial
And
team
making
deals
sure
with
it
Yeah.
stays on schedule, we have no
Right.
control over that.
Yeah.
We've checked most of those boxes, though.
Yeah, the
Where
front
we
end.
are at this
the
point,
front
where
Yes,
we are right
yeah.
now, with most of those boxes
Yeah.
are checked, so.
But we got a building and a site unworked for, that fell in our lap,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I think with the new charge, I think what is the key staff that's missing here, or representation here, is town office staff representation. They're gonna take up a big square, right now, it's police and fire are really the only, because that was the original concept of a public safety building. Because this is involving town office and town admin staff.
It's really a municipal complex.
It's a municipal complex. I think we need someone of that group be chosen, or one of them be, asked to volunteer to join this group. Because the space needs, we can't answer their space needs. And I think they need to be able to advocate for what their needs are, as well as these two are now.
I kind of think Nate's that person.
I don't think he should be.
Factor.
No, I
Unfortunately,
agree.
I really
That's what
don't.
I wanna hear.
Yeah, I really
agree.
do not.
That's kind of how all this started.
Because,
Yes.
because you don't want a sense of, you want the buy-in of the employees, because they're the ones that are gonna be here long-term.
Sure.
Not saying that Nate's not gonna be
I'm
long-term,
wanting,
but,
right. I wanted to be devil's
Yeah,
advocate
yeah,
and said that
because,
purposely to find out how strong
and,
your feelings were.
Nate is their boss, so maybe they need to be able to talk amongst themselves and say, hey, maybe the town clerk really thinks that we should have the vault here. That may be a driving thing, that they're seeing that the vault being downtown is not
So-
advantageous, it's not working.
Sure.
We just want to
No,
make sure
no,
that
that's a good point.
that they
So
feel free to bring that
Who
forward.
do you think brings by position, not necessarily by personality, but what department do you think would be best to bring somebody in from?
I disagree with you. I think in this case it is by personality, because it's someone who feels they can represent every.
Correct.
So Nate's, remember.
No, yeah,
we
I'm not
asked-
saying, I want to take personalities out of it.
No,
If everything was neutral, what department do you think someone should come from?
I don't. I think they self-select, because
Yeah.
no one
Okay,
department
that's what
has
I'm-
a stronger hold than another, and I think it's a matter
Yeah.
of who they feel. And
I'm not advocating for
No,
one,
no,
I'm
I
just
understand,
trying to
Mike. But I
press the
also,
buttons to find out what you're thinking.
I just want to also reiterate, Nate is a major resource for this committee, and we need him to be able, if someone brings forward the idea of let's put the vault here, we need him to say, to the tune of $28,000, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, so
Right,
he still
yeah.
needs to help us
Yeah.
on
Oh, I
the
concur.
financial end, so
Oh, I
he
concur.
can't, so I don't think he could do a good job of effectively being able to, and it's not fair to him to play both sides of the coin at
Right.
the same time.
Well, he's also really busy. He can't lean forward and be an advocate. I'm testing these waters.
I like the idea that they pick
Yes.
who
Yeah.
their, what their, who
Yeah,
their voice is
and that could
going to
even
be.
change,
Right.
right?
Right,
Like,
yeah,
we
yeah.
could be the initial stage right now, and maybe the town clerk is like, hey, I have the most space problems, I need to be able to have a piece in this.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, whatever their needs are met, now all of a sudden the treasurer collector feels like, you know what, I'm not getting enough representation for where I'm gonna be based on customer service issues.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
agree.
think they can make that decision, so I know you're trying to take the personality out of it, but I think in this case.
Just for the initial,
So-
I want you to know that my role in life is to be devil's advocate.
You're
'Cause a
very
lot
good.
Okay, because if you don't have a devil's advocate, then you don't hear the kind of comments that are coming out here.
Right.
So, but I think, they can, just like when you have an employee advisory committee for insurance or whatever, they decide amongst themselves, in my department,
Sure.
who do I want to send?
Yeah.
So I think they can easily decide, and they can even swap it. I think we
Right.
just make an ex officio,
Yep.
we can just make it an ex officio member from town hall staff.
Yeah.
And it can, let's say, Susie's available this week and next week Joe's available and he wants whatever. I don't
Yeah.
think that matters
Right.
as much.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Build flexibility in.
Yeah, I just think they need a seat at the table.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely agree. I wasn't advocating one way or another. I was asking challenging questions. I asked questions. You
Because
might have known.
you wouldn't want to get to the finish line and then we're in front of the townspeople and then you have a town employee stand up and say, no one
I-
talked to
I
us.
Yeah,
told-
right, yeah, right.
I already
right.
said I totally
Yeah.
concur, so we're
Yeah.
beating the
Yep.
horse now.
Okay. All right.
I achieved my goal.
All right, perfect.
I asked my questions, and people took it more as advocacy for one way or another.
See, and I was going to give the example, oh, my customer service window is next to the dumpster.
Yeah,
Whoops.
yeah.
Why do we have so many dumpsters out there? Do they do their own, each lessee
Maybe.
does their own trash removal?
I don't know.
Do you see how many dumpsters you gotta
Yeah.
negotiate around? We have to
Well, ours
plow
was
them.
part of it.
Okay,
I don't know what the vet has, but I think they have one or two. and,
Okay, all right.
so sometimes people dump in ours, but it's supposed to be just ours, and so, yeah. So I don't know where it stands with that now.
are there 4 out there? There's at least
Yeah, there's
3.
4.
Okay. You're talking about the number of bathrooms, I was wondering, how about the number of dumpsters? But
I don't know that we need to necessarily have too heavy of a role in the financial
Okay.
side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Only because that's like we said, it's not really our job
Right.
really to say to the town administrator or treasurer that this is how we need to do this. Obviously, if somebody has some ideas, don't hold them back. I mean, any idea is good, but I don't know that we need to really
to the,
have that as a
to
responsibility.
the chief's point, I'm pretty good with the first bullet, not good at all with the second bullet under financial oversight.
Yeah.
Is that what your point?
Yeah, my point was
Yeah.
more to cut it back.
Yeah.
Because that would be part of the financial team here in town.
Yes.
And also
Yeah.
the project manager to make
Yes.
sure that the project's
Yes.
running correctly. Yep, okay, we can make that change.
But I'm glad it was in there, once again. It's better to be
Shake the tree.
more
make sure, yep.
comprehensive. And then we can, this is just a draft.
Yep, correct.
I like number 3,
Okay.
Yep, 3 is good.
the public outreach and engagement piece.
Because that's what that was part of our original charge.
Mm-hmm.
And that hasn't changed.
You could almost say project management can go as well. That would be the OPM.
Yeah, I mean,
On the
to
other-
some point, I think we need just some
The feasi-
Input,
up to the feasibility
you know.
design. phase,
Right.
Up to
Yeah,
that point.
yeah.
Okay.
So what was that on before I leave
I know.
in?
First bullet, okay, second bullet, delete, is that what I'm hearing?
Are we under project management?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we're not inspectors, we're not
Right.
code
No,
experts.
exactly.
Yeah, like,
To ensure
kinda
compliance.
stay in our lane.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Procurement law,
Yeah,
you know, some of us probably have some pretty good background in that area, but not our role, I don't think. But better to be more comprehensive at this point.
Right, and it's good to check, ask the questions, make sure,
Seth was taking on the role of devil's advocate there by putting all those things in. He's
The
testing
rest
us.
of it, the rest of it looks really good. I don't,
Okay.
off the top of my head, can't think of much that I would that we should add.
Almost the second bullet under number 5 seems to be somewhat redundant with something else I thought I read. Maybe not. Maybe that was under the old charter.
There was something similar that I just read that was under the old charge.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I knew I heard something. I read it.
All right, so I'll make these changes and I'll send it out for you guys to look at. But is everyone, at the very, on the first page, the
Oh, yeah.
purpose and the mission statement is what I'm really trying to grab at tonight. Is the mission statement comprehensive enough?
So here's the only curiosity question I have.
Sure.
Do we call it the Municipal Campus Building Committee, or do we call it 48 Gardner Road Committee?
That's really a preference, and it's here or there. It's up to you.
So I guess.
I mean, you could say, because we already have the site, and we already know the site, so.
The site's not changing.
Correct.
No? Are you sure?
Oh, God.
I don't
Please.
think
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
No, for the next 100 years, right? So that's just to clarify to the public what the committee is.
Yep.
I think, because otherwise some people, because not, folks will read something and they don't usually read the next 3 sentences.
Sure, right.
So they may be like, oh, Municipal Campus Building Committee, so you're going to oversee the library building and the Council on Aging building
Sure.
and
Yep.
the
Oh, I
community.
didn't even, yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
It's happy to glad, but I stubbed my toe a little bit on campus. There's not, it's really a complex. Campus seems more broad to
Sure,
me,
yep.
whereas complex is tighter. But that's just the way the words sound to me. It's not a,
But what if it was
Sticking
48
point.
Gardner Road Committee?
I would not go with that.
You don't like that?
I like better what it was initially proposed, but change campus to
Yeah, kind of like
complex.
municipal complex. building.
At 48 Gardner
It's-
Road.
Yeah, it has that 48 Gardner Road, so it's in there. So you could just put that committee name at 48 Gardner Road, that way it's in
So
the
it doesn't have to, because complex
sentence.
is sort of building, so the municipal complex at 48 Gardner. Is that inclusive enough for you, Heather?
Wait, say that again, that doesn't sound quite,
Municipal complex at 48 Gardner Road.
Building
Committee?
Committee?
No building, because buildings are part of a complex. I'm trying to not have the thing be so long that it's a mouthful. It already is.
Municipal Complex Committee. Municipal Complex Committee? It's already a mouthful.
Well, it was. That's municipal campus building.
But you leave the building,
Well,
the
it-
building is the action that we're doing.
Well, complex is what we're doing. That's what I'm trying
So
to.
municipal complex committee.
This is gonna be the most complex thing right here.
I know. I was just thinking about that.
I kinda like
I'm like, we have 4 things in our name right now,
Yeah.
4 words, so what's the
Municipal-
difference?
Municipal Campus Building Committee, MCBC at Gardner Road, 48 Gardner Road. Cause I like this, I was like, as soon as
fine
I
with
saw the
that, too.
MCBC,
Yeah.
right on the calendar, that's easy. I'm always like, public
Me too.
safety, and oh, no, that's not right, building committee, like, this is nice to remember, it's easy.
So I'm glad we're selecting the name based on what fits on your calendar.
Yeah. Well, it's more likely I'll be here if, I remember to write on the calendar.
I'll change the folder in my email to, to MCBC, sure. Make it short.
So municipal complex
Yeah.
building committee at 48 Gardner Road.
Sure.
I mean, and we don't have to add 48
No,
Gardner Road
no,
to anything,
no,
it's
'cause
just
it's in the
for,
mission-
as
it's
a
in the
reference
mission
for
statement.
like,
It's in
right,
the
it'll
mission
just be,
statement.
It's in the
yeah.
mission statement, yeah, defines it, okay.
Yeah, that's right, because this is
Yeah.
the mission statement. We
Yeah.
want to keep
Yeah,
it tight
Yeah.
Yep.
and pithy,
Yep.
but
Yep.
it's, that clarifies it. Okay.
MCBC.
All right, complex.
Yeah, I think that.
All right, and then to follow up on, once we make those changes, this would be, this is a draft letter that this committee would send to the Board of Selectmen.
You've been busy, Seth.
I have.
Good job.
You know, Monday was a holiday, so.
Honestly, it didn't take, I was like shocked.
Yeah, you know, I have a big staff now as TA, so I can do a lot of things.
Oh, is that how it works?
You're acting TA?
I am.
I thought there was another acting TA.
Oh, he quit.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll stay with the Times better.
Yes.
Forgot about that, by the way.
Yeah. Again, obviously, we'll make the recommended changes that we just spoke about.
Of the name change.
Of the name
Yeah.
change and stuff like that. But again, we're just, not that I want, I mean, we know what's going on, we have a general understanding. And I almost want to, I would say spoon feed the board. It's like, here we go, we're just looking for your blessing. We're not asking you as a board to recreate, and not understand what we're actually doing. We're giving them the information of what we're doing. We're just asking for, to basically re-up the charge to include basically, everything that we're doing. So that it's consistent, it's transparent, the public knows exactly what we're doing. And when people see the name on the agenda, they can draw a direct link to what is actually going on.
We don't have to write FKA,
Yeah,
formerly known as.
formerly known as, yeah.
I think the letter looks lovely.
Alias, yeah.
It just needs that one change with the
Yeah,
complex.
Yep, so I'll make that changes. Okay. I'll get that to Carrie to sign and send off to the board.
Do you want a motion for approval of both of those?
Yeah, let's do that, so we're all on the same.
I would like to, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the revisions in our proposed mission statement as presented and discussed, as well as the letter to the select board as drafted by Seth.
I'll second that.
Mike's not here. We'll do all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Yes, aye.
Hi.
Hi. I said it the first time.
Okay. Heather, do you think we need to send two representatives to a select board meeting to be on the agenda, or?
Well, I would be there, so you got one.
Okay,
And I'll likely be at the next meeting as well.
okay, all right.
Yeah, and I'll make sure.
I just don't want to create a quorum that, we have to post it.
Oh, right, all right,
That would be
okay, I
like-
won't, okay.
I think we're okay. I think the board's gonna appreciate the fact that we've already done this work and, we've kind of helped. Did we get any feedback on need on either of those, or specifically the mission?
It's been discussed that,
Okay.
this was coming and,
Okay.
so he's aware that this was going to happen tonight,
Okay.
so.
And they can make changes to
Oh,
it.
absolutely,
So,
They can delete the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's right, right.
Yeah, they can disband us
They
and
can say,
start over.
forget it,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, if for some reason you wanted to go at that part of the meeting, I can always step out of the room so we don't have a quorum if we need to.
I mean, it's fine, Ryan,
but it's in advance.
I think
If
we'll
you're
be
there
okay.
at any
As long as
time.
we're not meeting about that subject.
If Kerry really wants to go, I can just not go with me.
you have to go.
I have to go.
You're on the select board, you have to go.
Yeah, but I'm also in it. I'll just pick a hat.
Yeah. I often attend select board meetings, but I can also
Oh,
not attend.
that's right. You're a problem.
Yes, that's a common refrain, yes.
We'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
We
That's
won't,
not a
we
big deal.
won't, because we're
Because
a,
you're not going to take any formal votes that night anyways.
Right.
As a committee, so I don't think it's really an issue.
There'll only be 3 of us. It won't be 4. There's 7 members in the
Yeah,
committee.
Right,
Yeah.
so
we're
3
okay.
will be
Yep.
fine anyway.
Yep,
but it will be 8, right?
it will go to 8.
Yeah, okay. That's an even number.
That's fine.
But we don't, I mean, the number of,
It's still 4, right? If it's
No.
8, it's still 4, or is it 5?
no, it's 5,
5.
5.
I don't think we've had an issue getting
No,
5.
No.
no.
No, but the only reason why I bring that up is that we keep that in mind, because
Yeah.
sometimes it becomes an
You
issue.
have
Sure.
to pick another committee, then the more people that you need to show up.
Right, right.
Well, it's also, so the downside of doing an even number, and the reason you usually go odd is if you ever have a tie vote,
Right.
right? We don't do too many votes on the committee, and it seems like every time we voted, it's almost been entirely unanimous.
Right.
That's what was gonna be my point. We don't vote on, there are not a lot of votable issues,
Yeah.
and mostly they're recommendations anyhow, so it's not like a
Right.
a lock-in. There's a second step to it.
So I guess as we walk away tonight, there's still quite a bit to do here on these plans. What I want to do is not have Nate feel like he's thinking we're almost done here. But the way we're talking tonight, to me, it doesn't sound that
I
way.
would say we're not super close
Okay,
to being done.
okay,
That's how I.
okay.
But you think by the next meeting, you guys would have had an opportunity to review those, and then we can at least,
Well, I was just thinking, I would love to know what this costs, ballpark.
I was thinking the
Because
same thing.
It's like, what does it cost? Is this a $15 million building? Then it's really a moot point about going from 7 toilets to 4, when I actually really gotta get it down to 2, per se, and cut a lot of stuff out.
Right.
And that's why I would love to have a price on what this would be. Not, doesn't have to be, give or take a,
1 to 2 million.
Right.
yeah, I'd say
yeah.
$1 million one way or the other, but yeah, if you give me an idea that, hey, if we built this exact, this is what you're looking at, guys. And then, because if we're gonna go in and start making these changes, then we're gonna have to go back and make even bigger changes.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I think we might be surprised at how much it doesn't cost, or how little it costs compared to certain other things, only because
and that
we're
would
really
be,
adding that and that.
that would be really refreshing.
And that's a
but
steel structure.
Right.
You know,
Nowadays, though, it never seems like that's the way. It's
No, I mean,
like-
there's going to be
Yeah.
there's going to be a significant price
Yeah.
tag on it. I'm not saying that's not the case, but this part of the structure is here already.
Are we thinking
You know.
significant where we're gonna be over what we initially told everybody or said, or, I mean, I
Well, I
have a
think
feeling we have to,
When
that's,
initially, there was like that one meeting where they're like, oh, 7, well, 8 or 9, oh, now you're getting somewhere, so.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see, like, what this, what the ballpark on it would be.
okay.
And if you do a parametric estimate, Heather, you're gonna find that these types of buildings are a higher square foot cost
Right.
than your typical kind of
Yep.
office building. And,
Right.
you guys bring some needs that, drive costs. I mean, it's a reality. So getting that number a little bit more worked
Right.
in, and whether or not we can use some cost-efficient energy items that, I said we need to, he's got to start to work towards at least the concept for those things, just like he worked on the concept
Yeah.
for this,
Yeah.
Right.
on the utilities.
Yeah. I think he's captured the overall space requirements for everyone. I think
for
in
the
the
most part
footprint,
that-
I think
that
that
it's
is.
there,
I think
yeah.
just the layout and flow, I think, is what needs to be adjusted at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like even some of like, not that it's much of my concern, but well, I guess in a way, because if it's overpriced, but like down on, I don't know if it's the second floor, first floor, there's this bathroom complex of 4 bathrooms, and then there's hallways all the way around it, where there's plumbing outside for other bathrooms, where when you abut that to
Yeah.
keep everything.
Right, yeah, that's
Yeah.
a significant
Center,
cost,
yeah.
is
Yeah.
when you do
And
that.
things like that, where even like they have the open space, like on the fire department side, where you come up, you have that hallway, that overhang.
Yep.
I would think you would enclose that.
Yeah.
Close it, you get a little bit more space there.
Yep.
Leaving it open, and then get rid of all those doors. And there's a lot of things there where, what you said, like the layout is like, you could streamline it quite a bit.
Yep. Yep.
A simple roof over some of that open area, now you have covered storage.
Correct.
Because a lot of storage I saw in the fire departments we visited, they said, well, you need storage. Yeah, but do you need climate-controlled storage, or do you need something to keep it
Just
out
dry
of the weather?
storage, right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So we talked about not meeting November, December, because everybody's so busy. So and we have a goal of November to try to bring this, yeah, right?
November of next year.
Next year, but we're in October, like
Oh.
2026, right?
Yeah, so I think our goal is, was it the presidential election or was it the gubernatorial election?
I thought Nate was a presidential because that's where you get the most voters.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I believe that's what he had said.
It's cited in past.
Yeah.
Just in conversation.
So what, 2 years?
His that he gave us was 2026, final
Yeah.
stretch. So that was his year that he outlined for
Okay.
us at the time. I'm thinking with all of this and everything that we're talking about right now, I just, either we want to meet that timeline or we need to figure out a different route to go.
Well,
It's always hard to accelerate. So if we keep a more aggressive schedule, we can always push it out.
Right. Yeah.
But you can't capture time in the past.
Correct.
It's gone.
I
Yeah.
think, I know we weren't gonna plan to meet November, December, but I think we need to, even if it's a remote meeting, just so we can go over.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
I think November,
And
December
everyone's-
needs to flush this stuff out. And even with a town admin person looking at their group.
Get them in,
Get them
maybe
in.
Yeah,
that's
they need to
a,
go over 'em
you know,
as
that's a
well.
good
I mean,
thing to,
I mean, even if Nate brings in the entire admin staff and say, you guys, over lunch, here is, you guys talk amongst yourself, bring back some feedback and, you know, something would be helpful for them. as
keeps
well.
things fresh.
Yep.
And gets a
And
new
keeps it-
position
Yep, it keeps it.
engaged rather than kicking that can down
Yep.
the road.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how long Drawer needs to rework
Right.
certain things either.
But at least for us to get all of our concerns flushed out and then put
Right.
back, and then hopefully in, you know, late January, early February, he can come back with another set. That we can, you know, get that much closer.
Does anyone think we should be getting an update on the design budget? What we've accomplished versus what we've spent? I mean, people don't usually want to talk about that, and unless you understand how designers charge and how they front-end load some of the overhead stuff and make sure that they've got some deliverables in there. We don't want to keep eating away at that budget without getting a
Right,
good
right,
benefit
right.
from our tasking to
Right.
them.
I think there's a lot of financials we need at this point,
Okay.
like Bob said, because there's
Yeah, give us a ballpark.
some kind of, we gotta kind of know where we're at this point.
But that's
and-
the construction.
Right.
Right, but I'm saying, I feel like there's a lot of financials we need at this
Okay.
point in order to move forward with some additional decisions on anything.
You know, because
So
if we gotta cut 2 or 3 million, then the conversation of what is changed, he would make that change now instead of,
So do we wanna see if we can have Drawer at the next meeting, so that we can,
it's gonna cost some money.
Yeah,
Yeah, all of
okay.
those things, but he can provide the information.
Yeah.
Correct.
Doesn't have to
Yeah.
be at the meeting.
Okay.
Hey, we want to know, here's what the contract was and the amount, and there was like these deliverables. There was a whole schedule
Yeah.
that they provided,
Yeah.
and, you know, we.
Right, where are we at?
Yeah, and now where are we at? You know, how much have we done? Do we have enough left?
Right.
You know, you don't want to find out at the end, or are we way ahead and we can
Right.
go, okay, we want to reuse some of that money. Don't spend it just because it's there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, right,
That
right,
often happens.
Yeah.
right.
And they
Right.
cover
Yeah.
other things, let's
You know,
say.
because, for instance, if there is extra money, then they could do the site design as far as the grounds, parking lot, lighting, stuff like that.
Well, he has the survey too now.
Yeah, so he has that.
Now, we already paid for that
Yeah.
up front.
Yeah,
Right.
So,
That part,
yeah.
it's not a lot, but
No, but I don't think that was something that was initially gonna be.
No.
it wasn't,
Worked
because
on that, so.
didn't we fund that separate, get
Yes,
like a
we
separate
contract
approval?
directly with them and we pay them directly.
Right.
You know, what's flushed out of that is the requirement for a variance for zoning due to setback requirements on High Street.
Right.
So that was very helpful. And then it gives us the grade of where, you know, all these additions, where they're gonna sit elevation-wise to the road and stuff like that, so it's very helpful. So. Okay.
So now I know Nate typically handles all of those financial parts of that. Is this something I can go directly to Dror with? Or is this go through Nate and then to Dror? Or do I just get those figures from Nate?
I would start with Nate to
Yeah.
Okay,
see
yep,
what
all right.
we paid to, whatever we paid them to date, you know, start there.
Yeah.
What have
You know.
we paid them, what have we gotten out of it?
Yeah.
and What's
Yep.
left,
What's left, and,
you know?
So
Well-
Carrie, I don't know if this is helpful, but I've been taking notes.
Thank
And
you.
I'll send you my minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Heather.
thank you, Heather.
It
So-
includes those questions though, so you don't have to feel like you're judging.
So one thing that we often forget when we're looking at design budgets is not necessarily what we've paid to date, but is the guy keeping up with invoicing?
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So you're keeping track of his
Oh,
hours.
right,
that-
Yes,
that-
right.
yes.
where are we at
Yes.
in effort?
Yeah,
And then in payment, yes, that's important.
Yep.
But we want to know in effort, because if they're behind 2 invoices.
Right.
I don't know, are
Right.
they doing this a monthly billing? Or is this by deliverable, when you're 25%, you're supposed to deliver us the concept, and we'll make payment at that time, you know, up to the 25%? I don't know the
Yep.
structure of
Okay.
the contract.
sweet.
Okay. Can we pick the next meeting date, maybe?
Yeah.
Just don't make it the 30th of November.
Well, it's a Sunday, so I wouldn't want that either.
Is that your
Good.
birthday?
No, I'm good, yeah.
All I know is I haven't put it on my calendar yet, and I'm not even sure what it is.
Okay.
But somebody changed schedule, because and the weekend-ish before Thanksgiving, you know, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, around that, I will be out of the area.
I'm gone the 19th to the 24th anyway.
All right,
And
good.
I'm gone the week of the 17th.
So that's that same week, so that's great. Nobody's here, so that works good. And then the week after is Thanksgiving,
Do you want to go into
just
December?
the first
early
week of December. That gives us enough time to probably do,
That's fine with me.
Except for Pearl Harbor Day, the 7th.
except
What
we
day
might have
Yeah,
to
but the
go,
first week is 1 through 5.
Yeah.
we
Okay.
might have to go the other week. I have a doctor's appointment. My 60th birthday is on the 3rd, so
Happy early birthday.
I will not be doing anything that day.
You know, you don't have to
I could
reveal
do
your
the
age
4th.
in a public meeting.
I'm proud of I don't
appreciate
care.
it.
I'm good.
Good for you.
I'm good.
I am too. I'm
I'm
29.
good.
That was a very vicious laugh, Heather.
Well, I figure, so if we
I went
average
really
29
low.
and 92, we do the median, where does this put us?
I thought the sarcasm would be evident when I went 29.
How's the week of the 8th for everybody?
Yeah,
Do it.
Do it.
And there's no select board meeting on the 8th, right? Because you're meeting the 1st and the, so can we do it the Monday, the 8th?
Stand by, just stand.
I'm good.
And 6 o'clock, unfortunately, this is the earliest I can get here.
I cannot do the 8th.
Okay, scrap
How
that?
about the 10th? Oh, nope. No, is that, no, your birthday's the week before.
Yes.
How about the 10th?
10th works.
The Wednesday, the 10th?
Wednesday works for me. You guys,
Chiefs?
hockey? Back to hockey yet?
I don't play hockey on Wednesdays anymore.
I do.
And I'll make sure I'm not officiating that night, so we're good.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, okay, so the
Do
10th.
you officiate his game?
Yes.
That's funny.
And then on Thursdays we play against each other.
Yeah, so,
That's funny.
Who plays defense and offense?
I'm
I
on
switch it
defense
up.
this year.
Oh, you switch it up? Okay.
I'm playing defense this year.
So,
So it's 10th?
Yeah.
yep.
At
6
And that's
p.m.
Wednesday.
at 1800, all right.
And room to be determined, location to be determined, where it's here or upstairs. Based on.
I would just
Yeah, I think
presume
if it's
like
this
a year
early,
and
it'll
then-
probably be here.
MCBC meeting.
See, it's easy. You can get out of it.
Well, it's not quite official yet. We gotta wait till the select
right.
board.
I'm putting it in there.
What,
Me too.
They're not gonna have a choice.
when
You go
does,
and the board's like,
when
no, we're
does
not calling
the
it.
select board meet again, Heather?
Monday.
This Monday, so
All right, I'll
is
get
it
that
too
letter-
late to?
I'll get everything to you
Okay,
tomorrow.
all right.
It should be okay. It's only, tomorrow's Thursday morning, so I think if you let Nate know, we should be able to add it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, yeah, because the meetings, so your deadline is tomorrow afternoon
Yes.
Yes,
for a Monday meeting.
yeah, perfect.
Okay, anything else?
No, I appreciate everything you're doing. You're amazing.
No,
Chair.
this was great. Thank you, stop it.
Well, I'll second that. And Seth, thank you for all this work.
No, I appreciate, no problem doing it, happy to do it.
Yes.
And how's Rutland?
Well, let's adjourn.
That's another
and then
story,
you can
we'll
ask
get
about
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Let's
let's
get
Motion
it.
to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.